everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn Podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys? I swear, I did not fire Oak. He has just been very busy every other Sunday the past 2 months. It's not my fault.
Yeah, we'll say, it's been a while.
It's not my fault. I didn't have anything to do with it. So it's not my fault. Y'all get at him and be like, hey, where you at, homie? What's going on?
Why'd you change the recording time? Why'd you change it? Oh, wait, it hasn't changed.
I didn't.
I
didn't change anything. It's not me. I swear. I swear to it's not me. I thought he'd be back this week, so I'm just going to stop saying he'll be on next time because I don't know that anymore. I don't.
I just want to shrug, maybe.
Yeah, he'll be back sometime, probably. We'll see. I mean, he's still around.
Oh, well.
You can hit him up in Discord.
Yeah.
It's not like he's, like, disappeared off the face of the earth entirely. He's
No,
just
he's
disappeared
still
off
here.
the face of every other Sunday. Okay, let's do news stuff so that we can talk about what we've been playing because I have a surprising thing to discuss. Stop laughing at me, Chicken. This is why I don't tell you things.
Saying,
This is why I don't tell
what do
you
you mean,
things.
I watch you.
I don't want to talk to you.
To be fair, I'm low-key not surprised, so.
Whatever, let's talk about what's in the news first. Where do we want to start? I mean,
All right.
there's been a few things, actually, so.
I know, right? We'll
Buckle
just
up,
start at
everybody.
the
It's one of them shows.
go from left to right.
Left to right.
Yeah, the way that I linked them. Street Fighter 6 had their finals, I think it was, the Capcom Cup Street Fighter League 2025 World Championships. They suddenly said that you won't be able to watch the finals unless you pay for it. So they turned it into pay-per-view without a warning.
Yeah, kind of like last minute. Like, I don't have a problem if you want to do the pay-per-view thing, but maybe don't, like, surprise people with that. Maybe announce that that's how it's going to be. Because, I mean, from what I understand, a lot of people in the comment section mentioned that, like, that's pretty common in Japan is to do the lead up. You know, you can watch those all for free and then you have to pay for the main event, essentially, the final showdown. And I get that may be common practice elsewhere, but for places that it's not common practice, a little announcement would probably soften that blow instead of you're so invested in it. You've watched all the way up until that point and then the paywall happens and you weren't really... there's never been one before, so that's kind of jarring. I get it. I don't think like, Chicken has mentioned in sports, they do pay-per-view stuff all the time, like, you know, in boxing and things like that.
It's such a common thing.
And I don't have a problem with that. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed to do a pay-per-view, but you should probably let
Apparently
people know.
last year's was pay-per-view, and it's such a normal thing in Japan. So I think the rest of the world was kind of shocked. Or Japan's just like, oh yeah, cool, no big deal. Pretty much. I mean, it's the same kind of thing as if you went there and you tipped during service, they'd look at you like you were absolutely insane. It's like, don't do that.
But that's the thing, though, is you can find out beforehand that that's not the culture, but nobody told them
They get paid a living wage, though.
Well.
Yeah, they get paid a lot better than us, but to not get into politics yet, there is an article that will deal with that. So.
We're not there yet. But yeah, I think that that's weird. Like, just let people know beforehand. That's
for sure.
the plan. I think the fallout from that is probably what's going to hurt them. Had they set it up and been upfront about it, where it's like, okay, I know we've always done this one way. We're doing it a different way this year.
Well, like I said, they did it last year.
Did they?
They did it last year.
Then why did people freak out last year? Why is it this year they're freaking out? Why didn't we have this conversation?
The rest of the world is feeling the same way that they felt last year too. Because I'm pretty sure Baka brought it up at some point about.
I don't remember this, but I mean,
to play that.
Shocking that I don't remember something, right?
But yeah, I mean, it's. I will say it's more harmful to brands, especially if it's like, we paid for so much ad time for so many viewers based on your average, and then you're gonna pay-per-view it. And then you're going to lose a lot of those eyes.
Yeah.
So you're not getting what you invested for.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I guess eventually it ends up on, like, YouTube and stuff, and you'll be able to watch it later on. You just can't watch it at the time. So
Yeah, I mean, which is fine because a lot of
That's a weird
like
thing.
whenever I watch League or whatever, and they have the championships over in Korea or China, shit start. Oh, excuse me. Shit starts at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't watch it. If it was pay per view, it wouldn't matter to me. I just watched the VODs afterwards.
That's true. I mean, but people like to be invested in watching it at the time of, because I know Chicken will be watching a Lions game here in, an hour? Isn't that when it starts?
Yep.
So, but you want to watch it as it's happening so that you can, like, be in the excitement of it instead of knowing they're in the aftermath.
Man, it is not good for my heart. I promise you that.
I know, watching you watch the Alabama game yesterday was something else. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so what else do we have in the gaming news? Because, like I said, there's...
Well, moving on from that, Microsoft has decided to make a very poor decision and increase the price of all of its Game Pass subscriptions.
Game Pass is what's holding Microsoft up at this point. Like, it is their big, thing. I don't know. All of the analogies for that absolutely just exited my brain and my brain shut off. I heard the Windows shut down sound, which is fitting because, it's Microsoft. But...
Yeah, no, right. Wish I could see the price before the hike.
I know with the mid-tier, it's going from, like, $9.99 to $15, I think. And then I think the ultimate one is the one that's going from $20 to $30. I don't know. People are very upset about the price increase. Granted, $30 a month for Xbox Game Pass is a big ask. I'm just saying. And I know I'm a little sad that Oak's not here for this because I would love to see his justification for it. And again, let us remember, Microsoft is a business. I don't care how much you love Phil Spencer as a person and as a gamer. Microsoft's a business. They want your money. They really don't care about much else. I mean, and that's not in a predatory, they don't care, they're going to take whatever, but it is one of those situations where I saw that they had posted a thing where they're like, we heard your feedback and we're thinking about it. And what that means is, hey guys, we heard that you were upset, so we're all laughing about this in the office on the way to the bank whilst we throw all of those emails in the trash.
It's, what was it? And part of, I can't say for any of this is with fact, because it's a lot of speculation and leaked numbers and things like this, and a lot of like some of this could be attributed to the purchase of Activision Blizzard, because like I said, the speculative numbers is that they lost like $300 million on Call of Duty because like 82% of people who played it on Game Pass and did not buy the game. Yeah. So they lost a lot of money on people not buying the game.
And one of the big things that Game Pass has always had going for it is, you can play on Game Pass, you can play games day one. Now I think it's only the big one that you can guarantee everything on day one. I think the smaller
it's
tiers,
ultimate.
Yeah, you have to do $30 a month to get everything day one. So that means that they are hoping that forces your hand to do the lower tier and buy the game. And then they make double the money on it that way. Well, extra money on it that way.
You're doing things like this, and I'm looking at this ultimate. You get 400 plus games playable on PC, console, cloud, $30 a month, 75 day one games a year, including all Xbox published games day one, Ubisoft Plus classics, and EA Play included with the Fortnite crew. Unlimited cloud gaming with shortest wait times, in-game benefits, including foray games, online console multiplayer, play and earn up to $100 a year in store with rewards. So that's $30 a month, and that's 12 months. That's $360 a year.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money. I can take $360 on any Steam sale and buy enough games to last me a whole year and some. And big titles too.
I do think that's one of the things that it sounds cool, 75 plus day one games, but you're talking 75 day one games. You're not talking 75 AAA releases, you're talking like 10 AAA releases, and then the rest are going to be all of your indie games, some of which, you could pick up on Steam for $15 or less at launch. But it counts, so it sounds like it's an impressive number, but really, like, most of those games, I would argue a lot of people that play, that use the Xbox Game Pass are not even playing those games. They're playing the big titles that come out and maybe a handful of the little stuff, but I don't know that you would end up coming out on top paying $360 for the year. I guess it depends on how much time you spend on Xbox and what you do with your gaming and everything, but it's more than most people are going to want. And I do think it's interesting where it's like the second tier down, the premium, is you can get new Xbox published games within a year of launch. Okay, so we're doing what Microsoft or what Steam and Epic have been dealing with, which is Epic exclusivity for a year before it comes to the masses on Steam. Y'all are going to lose money on that too. I mean, a lot of people have just canceled the service, like altogether just canceled it. Because it's like, well, I mean, if I'm not going to play day one games and I don't want to spend $30 to do that, no thank you. I don't need your lower tiers. It's just not worth it.
See, and if you see that little star right there, Griff, because you pointed that out on premium, new Xbox published games within a year of launch.
I can't actually read the underscript because it's too small, like on my screen.
Yeah, well, so. I zoomed it in. What does
it say?
And you want to know what that little asterisk is for the premium version?
What does it say?
Excludes Call of Duty titles.
Oh, because Call of Duty will still have exclusivity, advanced exclusivity with PlayStation, won't they? Because they've made an agreement on that. So
you won't even get Call of Duty games on premium within a year of launch.
The Essential, which is the bottom tier for that is it's basically your PC Game Pass, unlimited cloud access, or cloud gaming, in-game benefits, including for Riot Games reasons. Online console multiplayer. That's your Xbox Gold is essentially what that is. It's so that you can play online. I just
don't see the value in this anymore.
Yeah.
Like before there was value to it. But again, I could take that money each month and put it onto Steam and buy games on sale and own them and play them whenever I want. Boot them up whenever I want. I pay it one time, I'm done. If I take $10 a month and save it up and put it towards one of the sales, I can get a lot of game out of Steam for that.
Yeah. And I mean, which big games you're going to play. If you're not a content creator at this point, you are probably not playing every new game on launch as it comes out.
We don't have time. All of us are working all the damn time.
Yeah. The culture has shifted where we all collectively, even the youngers, because I say this as a parent, I have less free time because I'm a parent, but I know that general free time has decreased because everybody has to work a lot more to afford basic shit right now. So, I mean, the days of being like, I worked my, 40 hours, I'm going to go home and kick back, are no more. Now it's like, okay, well, I worked my 40 hours at job A, now I got to go to job B. I can't afford the Game Pass, and I don't have the time to play all of the games that are on it. So
other things that show Microsoft is starting to get a little shaky is not only have their consoles rose in price from $80 to $130 more. Again, speculation around is that they were set on the next console, but after all of this and things getting more expensive, it's kind of up in the air if they even want to continue developing consoles, because it's a lot of money and it's going to bite into their profit, because that's all that matters. And again, rumor around is they're planning mass layoffs again in the first quarter of next year.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this is one of those things where it's like the writing was on the wall when Microsoft started doing really heavy acquisitions of other properties, where they were buying up whole studios and then cutting out half the staff from it. And I understand, we've talked about it before. Oak is a big proponent of the idea of redundancies. You just can't deal with it, so you got to cut people. But I mean, that's what happens when you do these acquisitions. So you've spent so much money. You've thrown so much money out there to acquire all of this stuff, and you don't have the capital necessarily to continue to back it without doing things like raising prices on Game Pass, raising prices on consoles. I mean, just raising prices on games, I'm sure is right there in line. Like, that'll be the next shoe to drop, so that if you don't do Game Pass, you do spend more on the games because they're going to raise the pricing. Although I do think, whilst we don't necessarily have AAA parity in pricing now, because some games are still $60, some games are $70 as they launch now, I don't know how much you can get away with, like, how often you can be like, oh, well, this single-player game is now $90 at launch, if everybody else is still at 60 and 70, you know, like, I don't know how
GTA
much.
would be the only one that could get away with that.
Well, and that's not Microsoft, though, but, like, the next Halo game, is it $60? Is it $70? Is it $90?
But I'm not even interested in not even interested in buying that either.
Well, you're not, but I think one of the things that I think we, as the people on this podcast, have to also acknowledge is that we're not the youngies anymore. We the oldies now.
Yeah, but the youngies don't have any money either.
I mean,
they can't afford this or $120 for a game they're going to play for 3 hours.
If you can do Afterpay for your Taco Bell and Papa John's orders, I'm pretty sure you can do your Afterpay for GameStop purchases, which, please don't do that. Please, everybody, please understand that you are going to pay more if you do that. Don't do that stuff. Please don't. If you can't afford the Taco Bell or the video game, just hold off until you can, instead of paying more for it.
And my whole thing for all of this is, like, we definitely saw the writing on the wall when it came to this. My only hope is that they can leave Classic WoW alone, like the little Blizzard life raft that's off on the side, kind of doing Classic WoW. Just leave them alone, let them be, so that when they come out with their next version, I can. I think that's going to be
next on the chopping block. How much they're going to start looking at how much something like Warcraft costs to make and how much it's bringing in, and those numbers aren't huge anymore like they used to be. I don't know that Blizzard will have the Forever Shield that they did before.
I will disagree with that. I think there are enough whales in WoW to always keep it afloat. Oh yeah, for sure. Like they release,
they might pare it down though. I think, well, and especially since you're coming towards the end, like we talked about it when they announced the saga of 3 games. That's theoretically the end of Warcraft. So they have a decision to make on what they want to do next. Do you continue, putting content into this decades-old game?
Probably. Just keep milking it. Keep pushing it. Keep milking it till it literally falls apart.
Well,
I think Classic is their only saving grace because it's the only thing that actually boosts subscriptions. Retail does not boost subscriptions. Nothing boosts
Retail puts
subscriptions.
A little bump in subscriptions when new content comes out.
That's like a fart. They're looking for a full explosion.
I mean, you say that, but realistically, they did Mists of Pandaria, and I guess they could do Legion, but your Classic will catch up to current.
Well, they're not worried about they need to go to like Season of Discovery or Classic Plus or the Anniversary. Like that kind of stuff is what like boosts those numbers because people always come back. Then they get the Twitch streamers and they start a giant event and everybody starts coming back.
Yeah, but I mean, you can only do that so often. You can't do that all the time. It's not a sustainable, constant stream of revenue for them. And going, I hope when we release Classic, they all come back. You know.
Well, like Classic Plus would be more of a sustainable. Because I mean, to take the classic formula and do what the fans have been wanting, and that has to do with the Turtle WoW thing of them just staying with classic, not going into Burning Crusade, and just continuing the development of the game and content and story elements from there.
Yeah, but what you're asking is to go back and rewrite history, and they've already written those expansions. Like, they have the progression of the story. They're not going to be like, soft reboot.
They just did Season of Discovery, which was entirely different, and it doesn't even go on to TBC. They ended it. Like, there's no expansion to it. You can't even move those characters to Anniversary Realms. They're just stuck there on their island forever.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to see numbers. Like, how much does that make them versus how much does something like a Call of Duty make them versus how much they're, I know they don't really have sports games. They've got like Forza.
Well, to be fair, they've lost so much money on Call of Duty because it was on Game Pass. Like, they lost a ton
Which is something that we
money.
talked about when they started doing everything on day one on Game Pass is like, how do you make money in that setting if people are not going to have to buy your game anymore, they can just buy the Game Pass subscription, which is a big discount, which I guess is what they're still going to argue. You can spend $360 a year and you get access to all of this, but I mean, I don't know that you get a Call of Duty person and that's all they play to commit $360 to play Call of Duty for quote unquote free. I mean, like, right? So then they cancel their subscription. They're paying you, I guess, the $10 a month because that's what your Xbox Live is. You've got to still pay to have the online service at all. And then they buy the game. That's $120 plus whatever the game costs. So maybe it's similar price-wise to what they would have been making off of you anyway. Right?
I mean, that's why they don't make money. They don't make money off of me. I mean, I put 200-something hours in the Marvel Rivals, and I've only spent $25.
I haven't spent anything.
But I'm also very careful with how I invest my money into my entertainment, and a lot of people don't do that. It's a huge problem across the world. Is people pay too much for convenience. Seriously, why in the world are you spending $12 on a coffee? I still can't get over that, especially people who just spend $12 a day or multiple times a day on a coffee. I spent like $8 on a coffee for 3 months, but I make my own.
But that pumpkin spice latte.
It's just poor. Businesses get to make poor money decisions because people make poor money decisions, and they keep allowing businesses. If people speak with their wallets, the business will change. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If nobody, or they only had 100 subscribers on that because the rest of us were like, that's awful, they would change it or cancel it. Those would be the only options. They could not sustain it. But because people are poor with their decision making, it allows the companies to make bad decisions too. You need to make sure you get value for your dollars. And for the people that are like, yeah, well, I play Call of Duty enough, I can afford it. Buy it. Pay for the game outright one time a year, and you're invested $60 or $120, and you pay all, and you get all of it. Yeah. Instead of having to pay $360. Because people who pay for that Ultimate Edition and then only play one game off the Game Pass, you're losing money, even if you're entertainment-wise. Like, you got to put 360 hours in to get your dollar for dollar, and even then, you could just buy the game outright and make it a whole lot more worth it.
Yeah.
And use that extra money to buy something else. But again, people make poor decisions. It's just apparently the commonplace these days. One day it's all gonna bust, and everyone's gonna be like, I don't know how this happened, and it'll be like,
every company wants to make all of the money, not some of the money, all of the money,
and they want to give you as little as possible.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, Microsoft made huge money last year with the Game Pass stuff. Like, I think one of the articles mentioned record-breaking profits last year for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why they feel like they can get away with it. They feel like they've cultivated such a need for it, quote unquote, that you're not gonna not pay for it at this point. You're so used to having it that you don't want to inconvenience yourself by not having it. It's like, well, I mean, I guess
it always comes back to the same way. Always comes back to the same fucking way to increase prices on everything, lay everybody off. The people, the consumers, pay those higher prices now. So you're making more on that. Then you swipe all these people out of the business. So you get rid of that payment on your revenue. And then, boom, you're making record profits again. But you can't do that. That's unsustainable. You're going to eventually run out of people to fire. It'll just be the CEO and a couple of AI bots that are just responding to people. And they're like, I got record profits. And there's nobody at the office anymore.
It's one of those things where we will continuously climb this slope of worse service and worse products for more money until there's like a falling off point. I mean, we're already at that with a lot of other kinds of industry and things like that. I mean, eventually there will be no more money to be made because all of those people that were paying you don't want your product anymore because it's too fucking expensive for what they're getting. I mean, it just is what it is. Eventually, it will get there. And then what, you know?
Exactly. And then what? And then what?
It's very okay. Everything is always going to be cyclical. It just is what it is. Like things come around.
Well, it's because
like
people refuse to learn.
Stuff. Yeah, and it is what it is. We actually had a mini conversation in Discord about it the other day, where it's like Ollie was saying it's kind of coming full circle where we're going back to smaller studios and smaller games and things like that. And it's like, yeah, it's true. Because if you get absorbed by a big studio like this, look what happens to you. Half your staff gets laid off and your product gets taken away from your control and turned into whatever Microsoft or Sony or whoever wants it to be. And then they fire you too. And then they take your product and incorporate it into their Game Pass.
Then they throw it in garbage.
Yeah.
They throw it in the garbage after they're done with it. And then they basically made as much money as they could off of it. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Good game.
Which it
now
sounds
your game
awful.
is dead.
And it's one of those things where it's like inherently, I think we as people just want to believe that there's some company out there that's going to be for the people, but it's not. Every company is for itself. It doesn't matter how nice the person in the front is. They're for themselves. Like we had Reggie with Nintendo. Everybody loved him. Reggie's great. Nintendo's still going to make money. Nintendo. They're going to sue people. They're going to DMCA people's YouTube channels. They're going to be whatever they want to be because they don't really care about you as the player or what you as the content creator want to do. They care about their money, and that's the end.
I mean, I'll give it to Larian Studios.
Yeah, the indie studios. There's definitely studios out there that do give a damn about their product and their people, and Larian's definitely one of them. Like Sven's like, you can pride this studio for my cold dead fingers.
They make art before profits. And the profits come because of the art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Baldur's Gate 3 is a goddamn masterpiece. Like, even their games beforehand were great. And they focus on making good things first and then worrying about the money second.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure the dude that runs it is like, I manage I got people around me who manage the finances. You guys focus on making this game great. I want to play this game every day.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me every great thing. Every time you get excited about something that you made or something that works, you come tell me because I want to get hyped with you.
Yeah.
And that kind of enthusiasm will just ooze.
It's becoming more and more obvious to people what feels corporate these days. And games that feel corporate don't do as well anymore. Like, it just is what it is. You know when you're being played for a sucker, and you don't want that because it doesn't feel the same as what the artful games are. Which is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what this will mean leading into another article. Ubisoft and Tencent are forming a new subsidiary, Vantage Studios, so that they can take over Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six as series. So, I don't think that means that that Vantage will necessarily have more creative freedom with those titles. I think the writing is on the wall that Ubisoft is going to eventually be parted out as a studio, and they're trying to offload some of their more popular crown jewels, if you will, to have them kind of like safely already away before they collapse. And when I say collapse, I mean get bought up, and we'll talk about that. That will definitely lead into one of the other articles, but
I mean, Ubisoft does make some pretty good games.
When they want to.
But when they want to. It's just that, like, Ubisoft seems like they... Honestly, to me, it feels like they're in this weird, like, limbo area where it's like when they allow their companies to make things, they fucking make bangers. And then when they get a little oppressive about it, they just make duds. It's like, if you guys could see this pattern of where you put your hands in and it turns gross, you should keep your hands out and let them work.
Well, Ubisoft's also one of the more guilty parties of being incredibly formulaic. Like, their games, and I'm not saying that that's bad. You kind of, like, it's the same idea as, like, fast food. McDonald's is going to taste the same no matter what city you're in. So it's one of those, like, comfort things, almost. And that's kind of what an Ubisoft game is, where you're like, I've played so many new and different things, I just want something that feels familiar but is still new to me. All right, let me load up, the newest version of Assassin's Creed or Far Cry, where they never step really outside of the box. They step, like, right to the edge sometimes, where they're like,
but you have to innovate with each iteration. It reminds me so much of what I have been hearing from Ghost of Yotai, from Ghost of Tsushima. It feels the same, but it's better. Like, it it feels like they fixed a lot of the repetitive issues that they had in Tsushima, where things don't feel as repetitive in this one. Everything kind of feels different and has its own place, and it feels more like more of an alive open world, which is great, because that was the big problem with Ghost of Tsushima, is that it was always so repetitive. You follow foxes, you go to this, which was fine with me. I'm totally fine. I'm not complaining about it, but a lot of people had complaints about that. Didn't take away from the game, but they evolved it. They changed it slightly. They made it better. Cool, good evolution. But the problem with Far Cry is like there was no evolution. They literally changed the scenery, and all the mechanics and everything was exactly the same each time. A little bit of change in the story, but even then, it's like, oh, bad guy.
I just
climb tower, turn on map. It's like gotta add some variation into it.
I think that they're very comfortable with their formula, and I don't see that changing. It's something that works. It's the same idea behind like Call of Duty and things like that, where it's like, here's what the franchise is. You know what you're gonna get every time a new one comes out. You're going to be able to load into it and feel familiar enough with the controls and the map and everything, because it's another iteration of what you've already played. Which, I mean, to some extent you don't want to like, this is Far Cry, but we've completely changed everything about it so much that it doesn't seem like a Far Cry game anymore. And it's like, well, at that point, why put the Far Cry name on it, you know?
Why I said it needs to evolve, not change. It has to evolve. The mechanics have to feel better. You don't have to do radio towers. You can find different, new, innovative ways to make maps open up. Like, you could do different things. You can find different ways.
I want to say it was 5, because I think they even made fun of it, where you went to the first radio tower and the guy's like, now you got to do this for every area. I'm just kidding with you. Like, I feel like there was some tongue-in-cheek thing to that, but I can't. It's been so long since I've played Far Cry 5, and I just still never gotten around to playing 6, that I don't remember what it was that was different. It may have been just one of those issues where you just go to the area and it's unlocked part of the map once you're there, instead of you having to climb a tower and do a thing. I don't remember.
Really far backwards.
Yeah. Again, it's been quite a while since my last time playing Far Cry.
Yeah, we'll see how this turns out.
I do think that some of it, though, is that there are investors that are looking at them and wanting to get rid of the guy in charge, and this is a way for there to be backup plans in case that ever happens. Or he's like, well, fine, I'll just go to Vantage then if I get fired from being here. And I'm not saying that this is a good thing. Ubisoft's got a ton of problems. Almost every studio does, but Ubisoft's definitely been in the news before for this guy being a real shitbag, so I'm not really like, hey, good on him for making a backup plan. I'm just saying I think that might be some of the motivation. And knowing how acquisitions have been recently and how much money there is on the table, and knowing that, you know, a shareholder meeting might mean that you sell that stuff and you don't get to say anything, I'm not surprised.
Man, in the next decade, we will probably see most of these companies collapse. Because, they're going to buy them, part them out, and these private equity firms or whoever is buying them up and stripping them down is going to, like, end up mass murdering these corporations. And these corporations are going to be ended up with nothing, and these private equity firms are going to be ending up with a ton of money. And then all we're going to be left with is indie games, because it's going to be Microsoft trying to push stuff out. And that's
I know it's one of those things where private equity groups are like, this is a new thing in gaming, but I for a long time now have been interested in like business in general, so I watch a lot of like downfall documentaries and everything, and this is always how it starts. Oh no, company not doing well, private equity fund comes in with some, you know, a boost in funding because they're buying in or buying out. That is almost always a guarantee for this company will be no more over the next decade. It might last for a few more years because this is like infusion of quick cash, but that's not what the private equity fund is there for. They're not there to keep this going long term. They're there to put some money into it, get their return back out of it, part off the pieces they can, and get rid of it.
Oh yeah, because their job is to make more money. If they put in $200 million and then they salvage the corpse and end up with $250 million, cool, done. They don't care about the company. They made $50 million from it.
And some of it is also, a game. It's to see whether or not you can do things like declaring a financial crisis and getting bailout money from governments, and then all of a sudden declaring bankruptcy, which clears out all of your debt and things like that. Like, some of it is gambling for the company, the private equity companies, and they win a lot. So I'm just saying, it'd be prudent with everything that we've talked about today and how all of this stuff is going. Ubisoft is doing this. We know Microsoft is probably going to be financially in a little bit of trouble, which I know that there are people that
record
are like,
profits,
yeah,
and they're having financial issues. They will.
They're like, but they always make, every window or every computer you buy has got Windows and all of this stuff, and they're making just bank on that. They are, but that doesn't mean that they're going to constantly funnel money from that side into the gaming industry if that's just a money sink. Like, if they cannot get any return on that side of it, eventually that will stop. Do not blind yourself by thinking Microsoft will always support every aspect of its company. It will not. We don't have the Microsoft Glass is not being developed anymore because what happened? Oh, it didn't work out like they thought it would. People didn't want augmented reality, so they've scrapped that, incorporated the tech into another part of their company, and then completely gotten rid of that. So,
which is the rumor going around as to why the Game Pass is being hiked up, is because the lady up in charge was like, the profits of this need to go up. And if they don't, I'm shutting it down regardless.
So
that's why they hiked it up so quickly. And if it doesn't start making a profit, I guarantee in the next 5 years, you could see Game Pass go, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mixer. Wasn't making enough money. Guess what? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
They will absolutely chop off a dying arm without hesitation.
It's not like this is, like I said, this is not a solely one company problem either. We've mentioned Microsoft. We just talked about the Ubisoft Tencent thing where they're parting out their studio preemptively because that might be on the horizon for them. And then, of course, as if you lived under a rock, maybe you don't know, but EA was privately acquired this week by a couple. Basically, it was the Saudi government and two private equity groups.
And Oak would scream at me if I did not correct that. The transaction will be completed in Q1 of 2027.
They have signed
but
the
that
agreement,
does not mean
the
it's
wheels
not
are
done.
turning. Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things where I doubt, based on who is involved and who is in charge in our country specifically right now, I don't see any reason that this won't happen. I don't see anybody putting up enough of an argument to stop this sale from going through because, and if you don't know, because politics is something that a lot of people don't get into, our president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is in charge of one of these private equity groups. Like, it is his company. So I don't really see there being a stop to this transaction happening. It's real shady. $55 billion is the money side of things. I don't know if you guys have noticed EA games lately, but I don't know if $55 billion is really, that's a lot of money for EA. I'm just saying.
That is a lot of money for EA.
Stock prices and everything, if you look at it transactionally, it's not too far off. You always buy higher than what it's worth so that you're not going to get into a bidding war, essentially. Like, I get it. They said that Andrew Wilson, who is the current chairman and CEO, he's going to be there for a while. Although I imagine he'll be there long enough for the company to get bought, and then things will start happening and he will peace out. Because even the vampire is not going to try to have some self-preservation and get out ahead of things. This is one that I definitely think, for those of us that have been around the gaming stuff for a while, you can see what's about to happen. They're going to part this out and get rid of a lot of stuff, and they're going to keep, because Saudi Arabia is in the process of sports washing their history right now. They want the focus of their entire country to be on how great their sports stuff is and everything. And this is where they're going to do things like buy FIFA up and buy the golf game, which I can't remember. It's not huge here, but in Saudi Arabia, that the golf is huge right now. So that's two big money makers. I imagine companies like studios like BioWare are going to get sold off. They'll probably keep Maxis and continue to make Sims because that just prints money. It just does. Although I do wonder, does that change the Sims? Because right now, Sims has been very progressive I'm going to put that in quotes, progressive, because you can have same-sex relationships. You can, same-sex relationships can adopt children and pets. There's like a lot of, I think in the Sims 4, they even let you do things like pick pronouns. And so there's a lot of very gender positive stuff happening in that franchise, even if it is financially predatory, which is partly why I refuse to play it. But I do wonder if games like that start changing because of this. Like, they say no, but I don't believe them.
Yeah, there will definitely be a shift in tone. I can almost guarantee that. That seems like an easy,
and I mean, it's
easy thing to notice.
$55 billion worth of blood money. Enjoy that. Like, fuck that. For me personally, that means that future future EA games, big no. Big no.
Yeah, from this point on, this house will not be buying anything EA.
Yeah. I mean,
that means, like, even the games that we really enjoy, that we liked and whatnot, like...
I mean, I already own the ones that I care about. I am interested in Dragon Age Velguard just to see what they did to the franchise, but at the same time, like, future stuff...
Go watch a playthrough. If you're that interested.
I feel like they're going to sell off a lot of this, though. And I think that if you sell off studios with their IPs intact, so you sell off BioWare with Mass Effect, Anthem, and Dragon Age intact, I do think that those companies, depending on who they get sold to, could have
monkey paw curled. They're going to sell off BioWare, and Microsoft is going to buy them up, and then they're going to dismember them, too. It's like,
Probably. And I know one of the things that Oak mentioned is like, oh, but they've got Battlefield on the horizon and it's going to be huge. And I don't know. I mean, it might be, but I don't think it'll be as big as it would have been.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it's going to be as big as it was going to be.
I played in the beta of that for like a few hours, and I'm just like, this feels just like every other fucking shooter. There's nothing special about any of this.
Yeah, we're to the point where we're jaded old people too. We've played so many of these games that what's new anymore? There's just not a lot of rehashed stuff that feels familiar to people so that they can play it and enjoy the easy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just this is
game, Grandpa.
I know.
Make it go pew pew.
Maybe they'll sell off Titanfall as an IP, and then we can actually get another Titanfall game that is good. Because, I mean, Titanfall 2 was good. And
we need another Titanfall for sure.
I would definitely play another Titanfall. I know there's like, but it's Apex, so you could play Apex. That's not the same. I want a single-player Titanfall. The story was pretty good. The gameplay mechanics were great. Like, give me that.
Story was fun.
But yeah, I imagine a lot of people will be canceling Game Pass. A lot of people will be skipping out on things like the upcoming Battlefield game. And I don't really know what Ubisoft had on the horizon that people were looking forward to avoid. So I guess you can take that as it is what it is.
Well, Ubisoft hasn't gotten our wrath yet, or not our money, I should say.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. They're just making repetitive games. Give me something that's really great, and maybe I'll talk about it. I mean, The Division, I think, is an Ubisoft game, and that was fun when they first came out with it.
Somebody mentioned
door closing technology.
Yeah, I know, right? Somebody mentioned that we'll be seeing more predatory monetization from EA because of this, because of course they're gonna have to do massive layoffs and cost cutting. But I don't know if you guys have played an EA game lately, but I don't know if you can do any more predatory monetization than what's already in them. Like,
EA is pretty good at that themselves, so I don't know.
It is so bad. I loaded up The Sims 3 like a month ago just because I was like, I haven't played that in a while. Let me load it up, and I had forgotten how many pop-ups you get for store content just constantly as you're playing the game. Like, I need to buy my people a couch. You go to the buy menu, and it always has this little pop-up on the side where it's like, this is for sale in the store right now. Do you want to buy it? And it's like, get out of my fucking way. How can I turn this off? Turns out, joke's on you, you can't. And even if you can, they come back. So, I don't know how you make it worse than that. But I guess they'll figure it out. Because, of course, they will. But, yeah, that's enjoy your blood money, EA. That's a big no for most of us. I don't think that's going to play out for them in the long run. Like I said, I imagine we'll see a lot of stuff getting sold and a lot of companies just getting laid off. But if they sell the IPs, they might be able to make some of their money back.
Yeah, they will. Like, I will give it 2027 is when it'll go through. I bet money that we will see EA dead by 2035. They will part it out, make as much money as they can off the next few titles after that, and then whatever's left, they will basically dispose of by 2035.
In multiple bags. Carried out.
Pretty much. They'll make their money back, and then they'll just get rid of EA at the end of it.
I know it's one of those things where people are like, don't bring politics into my games, but it's hard to not do that.
Especially when they dominate the fucking world in every aspect these days. It's hard. I mean, keep your politics out of my cereal, like motherfuckers.
Oh, well, the upside is that now is the time for more independent studios, even if they are big budget studios. Now is the time for those passion projects to get started. Now is the time for bringing back franchises. It is a great time for people that are not big, huge, monoliths within the franchise or within the industry, because Silent Hill F came out. It is gangbusters. It is making all of the money. People love it. It is selling better than Silent Hill 2's remake was, and I know people like to sensationalize that a little. Oh, it's selling better. This one's better than the remake. It's selling better than the remake because a lot of people were trepidatious about buying the remake because they didn't know they could trust Konami. Okay? So calm down a little bit. But from everything I've heard, this game has gotten, glowing reviews. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those where it's like, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I definitely don't have any money, but I'm going to save up and try to buy this at some point in the soonish future.
Hell yeah.
Next 6 months or so. But it is doing super, super well. Bloober Team, something that I didn't know was even rumored. Bloober Team confirms that the Silent Hill 1 remake is in production. So they are working on that. They will not say that they're not going to do a follow-up to their own game, Chronos, that is also out now, and I am it's on my wish list. I have my wish list is very long, okay, you guys? But Konami's back to doing what it needs to do. It was fine, we'll give you your fucking Silent Hill 2 remake like you guys screamed about. Oh, you're actually excited about this. Well, here's all of the other Silent Hill stuff that we've been sitting on for a while. Let's go. It is your time to shine. And they're doing it.
Which, to be fair, I think they did it right, too, because Silent Hill 2 is a standalone Silent Hill game. By itself, That's it. One and done. It's a huge title. And they were like, all right, you could do this. All right, you did well. Now, I bet money we will see Silent Hill 1 and 3 back-to-back. For whatever, because I don't know if they are working on a Chronos sequel. The Chronos came out. It was great. I've heard great things about it. Bloober Team has definitely stepped into the ring with Capcom for horror games and whatnot, which is fantastic, because we need more competition. Which, to be fair, Capcom does elevate their Resident Evil games each time, so at least they're doing their own thing. Yeah. But getting the A-OK, the thumbs up from the Silent Hill community for 2 is all right, now we can do Silent Hill 1, and when we're done with that, we can just start working on Silent Hill 3 so that we've got them ready kind of a couple years down the road do Silent Hill 3. So then you have a remake of the first 3 games. Cool. Then do you let them make their own unique entry into the Silent Hill universe? I mean, you give them an opportunity to do it? They prove that they can. I mean, they got 3 full games under their belt. Yeah, I would let them.
I mean, I would.
And apparently, with Silent Hill is going after Silent Hill F, they're going to start taking the Silent Hill franchise into that direction, where they start telling stories in different areas. Because Silent Hill isn't just a place. Well, it is a place, but it's not isolated to the town of Silent Hill. It's more. It opens up the story to be told from different places, different views, instead of it always being the town of Silent Hill, which is cool. I like that. You got your first set of games, which always takes place, and now that we're here in this era, Silent Hill will be a broader area to discover and I guess see what other people want to do with it. So neat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this. I don't love Konami, but I'm glad that they're seizing the moment as it has come to them. You know.
Yes.
Just don't fuck it up. Don't start making trash games and throwing them out there every 5 seconds because you feel like that's gonna make you more money.
I think they're a little trepidatious on that.
Yeah.
Well, on that same kind of topic, Kojima and Xbox are teaming up to make his new game called OD.
Yeah. That one, you can feel the Silent Hills PT creeping into the trailer for that one. I think it's going to be an interesting one. I'm very interested to see how that evolves, especially knowing that Kojima's like, I just want to make things that are fucking weird. Okay, tell me a scary, weird story. Because I think you can.
Well, he will
I'm
definitely tell you a weird story. I'm sure this thing will be wild. Which I'm down for. Let's see it. I want to see what they got.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know. Death Stranding kind of sold me on Kojima, and I'm still waiting for Death Stranding 2 to come to PC, so I don't know how the second one is, but I really liked the first one, and I would be very interested to see what that scary game is going to be like, because there was a lot of creepy stuff happening, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Hell yeah.
I'm trepidatious because it's they're teaming up with Xbox, so we'll see how that goes for that.
To me, it leads me to believe that Xbox is just footing the bill for this one. Because
maybe
Kojima
that's why they had
is
to raise prices. They got to pay for Kojima.
Kojima, to me, and I like it, especially because he has his own studio, to me, is the guy that will not have somebody else tell him how to change his vision. Especially, like, he's probably got people around him that he trusts when he starts getting off the rails, or like, hey, man, I like it, but I think this might be a little too convoluted, or you might try to tell it a different way, where if, like, Microsoft thinks like, we don't like how this is doing, we need to be able to make more money off this, he's going to be like, then take your money somewhere else because I'm doing this my way.
Yeah.
Kojima's got that, like, to me, has that kind of mindset to where you don't fuck with his vision, his view. Like, he's an eccentric artist who makes masterpieces.
Some weird ones.
But you gotta give him room to create.
Well, and I think that kind of leads back into, like, what we were saying earlier about now is the time for the smaller groups where you're still like Konami and things like that, Capcom with the Resident Evil
I'm
series.
even willing to go with Kojima as an indie developer because he's his company. He's making his games.
Yes, he's definitely an indie. He's not beholden to other stuff, but it is the time for people to actually follow artistic vision versus regurgitation of the same thing, and that's Silent Hill's doing it with their thing. Resident Evil's doing its own thing over there. Capcom's got that, where they finally, they're catering to fans, but not catering in a way that it's like, we'll just give you whatever it is that you ask for, whatever slop you want, we'll put it in there. It's You're getting parts of the Resident Evil franchise that are exactly what people wanted, and then it comes encapsulated with things that they didn't know they wanted, but ended up really liking. Like that move to first person was like, but everybody's kind of like, okay then. Maybe this is fine.
Yeah. Well, you gotta let him try it out. Which I think I might play Resident Evil 9 or Resident Evil Requiem in first person and then play it in third person.
Just to see how different
it's supposed to give you two entirely different experiences too. Because they added mechanics and things like that, like the whole tripping thing while you're in third person. But I think the first person view, because she's not supposed to be like this badass superhero or whatever, but I think the first person kind of makes it so that she's inexperienced. You don't really have those eyes in the back of your head thing, so she's kind of like focused in her frontal view, and then when you play in third person, you could be more responsive because you could see more. It shows her experience level to where she's kind of got those eyes in the back of her head now. She could see things a little better during the second run. So that's kind of my canon view of it. Is like the first person is her inexperienced run of the game, and then third person is her more experienced version. Because I mean, Leon running around in Resident Evil 4, like, I mean, he is just a badass, man.
Yeah.
He suplexes, deflects arrows, throws, like, dude is crazy. And I think it's third person that makes that kind of stuff justifiable because you can kind of swing around. You're a lot more responsive. Anybody tries to grab you from behind, you can just like parry or dodge. Or, like, it's all sorts of crazy stuff in third person. Where like Ethan in the 7, where it was in first person, Jack would always show up behind you. You couldn't really see anything.
I mean,
the molds would sneak up behind you.
Especially with Resident Evil as a franchise, that's something that a lot of companies should really take into account. Where it's like, yeah, we've played the grizzled combat veteran a lot. And yeah, we as gamers know how to play these games. But maybe we need to focus on frontline characters that don't know everything and that aren't like super good veterans, you know?
That's the point of Grace. And apparently they are trying a different direction with boss fights too, to where they're more puzzle-solving boss fights instead of just gun-shooty boss fights. Yeah. They're forcing you, because she's not a fighter. Not yet. Apparently she evolves through the games to where she can handle herself like mid-end towards the game, but in the beginning she suffers a lot because...
I mean, that's not her job.
Yeah,
why would she be a crack marksman when, you know, she basically does filing paperwork all day and research?
Exactly. So I'm excited to see it. Capcom does not let down with their games so far. They definitely stand tall with what they make in their Resident Evil universe. It's very, very, very important to them.
I would love for them to take another run at Resident Evil 6. Like 5, you started getting a little ridiculous, and then 6 was like, this does not feel like it should be part of the franchise.
I can almost guarantee that there is Resident Evil 5 that is being worked on right now. Like, it's probably in the very early stages right now. There's a lot about 6
you'd have to augment to make it feel better, I think.
You would have to streamline the story, which, thank goodness that in the remakes they do kind of slightly adjust stories to make them a little better. Because 6's story is the major problem. Like, it's so goofy in some of the parts and
some
whatnot.
Of it's very
the
disjointed,
characters are okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I liked Chris's story. I liked the idea of Chris's story as this, you know, PTSD veteran having this rookie thrust upon him that I kind of idolizes him almost, and then seeing that dynamic as Chris works through his own trauma is definitely an interesting part of the story, because you gotta admit, almost everybody in the Resident Evil franchise should be traumatized to some degree.
Yes and no. Like, Leon is definitely
Leon's trauma has turned him into a crazy person.
He turned it into a strength. Brother Man does not get feared. He has zero tolerance for shit now.
Yes.
It is like, you're a bad guy, you're doing bad things, I'm going to beat that out of you and finish my mission. Do you understand me?
Yeah. That game also
told
the story where you played it as like 3 separate broken apart parts. So you played all of Chris's stuff. Was it 4? It was all of Chris's stuff, all of Leon's. Oh yeah, then there's the Ada one, and then the...
Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. I couldn't remember her name to save my life. But I think that...
Sherry and Jake.
I think what you do in that situation is better interweave those stories instead of completely playing through them all and then coming back, you know, oh, I remember this because we met in the other people's story. And then, you know, just kind of do it as chapters so that it tells the story in a more cohesive narrative setting. Granted, that may not be what happened. It's just kind of how I remember it. And it's been... I mean, we played that game on Xbox 360. That's how long ago it's been.
I think you have to leave it in the 3 parts because it is interesting to see the characters cross paths in it and then going to their story.
End up with, because you're playing through it that many times, you end up with story fatigue, which is why we didn't even finish it. You and I didn't play Sherry's part of it.
We played through half of it.
We played through half of it. But that was the problem is, like, we ended up with this story fatigue because we'd already been through 2 whole sets of the story, and now we're on a repetition with the 3rd one.
I mean, I really didn't mind that. It's just that Sherry and Jake's part was not very intriguing.
Yeah, it was pretty lackluster.
I liked Leon's was a little iffy at the beginning, got better towards the end. I didn't care for his partner either. Chris's part was really good. I liked his. And then Sherry and Jake's part was really lackluster. And then we didn't even get to Ada's part, which I'm sure would have been fine. But like the story was the weak part. I did not mind much of it, but I think they just made it too actiony. Like that was the whole
it was
kind
too
of
many action buttons. There were so many quick time events in that game that it's like, why am I
rolling
even
around, sliding,
just...
popping tic tac, switching? Like it's just they need to adjust it so that it plays like Resident Evil 5 again. They tried to up the level too high on it.
Yeah, they changed it too much in a direction that none of us wanted. Like nobody that was interested in that franchise wanted that direction for it, and so that was a choice. But yeah, I mean, if they seize that opportunity like they're seizing everything else right now, could be good, could be fun, could be real, you know. I feel like Baka has been playing Kingdom Come half the time.
Yeah,
Baka, how's your mission going over there, huh?
You finished
beat the fuck out. No, I haven't even actually have it turned in and play.
I was just checking. Not that I would have blamed you.
I want to.
I know.
Because I want to finish beating the fuck out of more bandits, but
yeah.
I'm glad that you're enjoying
the combat
it.
down.
I have not mastered the combat, but I also tried to do that thing where I was like, well, I need money to pay off this debt, and I can do these side quests. I'd like to go ahead and pay my debt off, but after going on like a half-hour nature walk trying to get to somewhere, and then coming back without having actually made it to the place that I was going, because it apparently was a lot further away than I thought it was, I have not really gotten back on track yet.
Yeah,
so
I got me a horse finally, because I was like, I'm fucking sick of walking everywhere.
You've obviously made it a lot further than I have. I am up to the point where it frustrates me that as much of an RPG as it is, I have no dialogue choices in the story beats. Because, oh my god, I just wanted to slap Henry and be like, shut the fuck up for 5 seconds, stop pushing this guy. I know that little Lordling Capon is a dickbag. Yeah, he is. But stop pushing his buttons. You're a nobody with nothing behind you right now. Stop it. But I'm to the point where I'm supposed to go on, like, our next maiden story beat is to go on, like, a hunting expedition with Capon as the... I'm pretty sure that's his name, Lord Capon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
a little bit... I'm a little past that.
Yeah, so...
I'm like two or three missions past that.
I'm not very good at the combat either, which is frustrating to me, because I get that it's supposed to be a challenging combat system, but I can't...
It's a steep learning curve for this combat.
I'm struggling to be proficient at all, you know?
It just takes practice.
Lots of playing For Honor, because it does feel a bit like the For Honor, where you have to pick the directions, and so lots of playing that with chicken. I picked up on it pretty quickly.
Oh, that is not one. For Honor is not one that I played because of the combat system, and I think that is really gonna cripple me trying to play this game.
Hence why I said at the very beginning that is going to be the biggest wall, that if you want to enjoy this game, you're going to have to work through that wall. Even if it's a toothpick at a time, little scraping getting through that wall. I know.
That, I really need to figure out the map situation. Because I'm like, I could just go over here and do this one side quest real quick. It doesn't seem like it would be anything terribly challenging. I've been on a 30-minute nature walk in the friggin' woods, and I still have not come across the thing, and I keep opening the map, and I'm like, it's just right over there, and then I go back to walking, and it's not just right over there. I'm like, what? Why am I so bad at navigation? I'm going the right way.
A large open world game, with a... Yeah, no... You're directionally challenged, Grif.
It's not even that I get lost. It's that I underestimate how far things are away, because you cannot look at the map as a whole and, like, move the map around to navigate to see, like, I'm here, I need to go here. You're looking at this town. Okay, well, you can look at the whole map, but it's only one big picture and you can't move anything around. And if you move closer to the next town, it'll, like, zoom in on that part of it. So I can't really the scale doesn't fit for me doing it that way. So I was like, well, this is right over here. It's not. It's not right over here. It's like forever away over there in the forest somewhere. But I don't know. I want to play it. I want to see how that story unfolds because I can kind of see the start of what they want to do with that and how they want it to develop. Like, I think it's going to be something very interesting in the long run. Obviously, it was interesting enough for a sequel. I
mean, you better start learning how to use the bow then if you don't want to melee combat. Just bow that thing.
Just,
Yeah, I mean, you could probably go through and get arrows and spend time hunting and building up your bow skill. I was kind of debating about doing that. Like, so do the mission where you go hunting with him, and you can get extra arrows and a bunch of those supplies from the chest over there, and then that I started building up my bow skills that way.
I guess maybe I should try that. I couldn't. When they threw you into it, where they're like, oh, look, he's goaded you into this bow and arrow competition with him, and he's obviously pretty good at it. I just couldn't I was like, this, I don't know why I can't figure this out. This is impossible.
I'm also assuming you can do something with the dog, because I did basic training
sidekicks. So yeah, and that's the thing, that there's a tab for it. So I haven't done basic training for it, but I know that it's available because there's a tab for it in the menu.
Yeah,
so you can
I sold a bunch of shit that I haven't picked up gone back to pick up the dog yet, but I did the training for it, for the basics. So I'm assuming the more training I do with the dog, maybe I can have him a sidekick and go kill shit. But
maybe that's what I need.
Sniff out some treasures for me. Find the animals. Okay.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, I was like, well, I'm just getting all this extra like pieces of armor and useless weapons and shit like that I don't need. Go sell it, make a bunch of money, repair my shit, and go, cool. Teach me this, teach me that. Go out and find some more bandits, beat the fuck out of them, and take their shit.
Yeah, I just pick flowers. I pick a lot of flowers because that's easy money.
Do that. Do hunting.
Okay, look, I was in the forest for a half hour of real time, and I only saw one bunny. So I was pretty convinced there was nothing actually in the forest.
Where you go to go hunting with him, like I was running across deer and rabbit all over.
Maybe it's one of those things where you have to do that mission to kind of initiate that part of the gameplay to unfold. That might be part of it. It may be like a trigger so that you don't go and like spend all of your early time doing what I'm doing, which is trying to do side quests because I'd like to pay the debt so I don't have to have that hanging over me.
I haven't finished paying the debt. I just kind of went off. Like I did the one mission for him. About the ring, and then he was just like, oh well, now it opens up all this other stuff with all these other guys for stealing, and I was like, cool.
I turned that down.
I'm gonna go do this.
I told that guy's like, I just need you to go and do something kind of shady, and I was like, my Henry was like, nah, I'm a good upstanding little boy, I'm not gonna do that. So
fuck that. I got a lockpick and everything for that shit.
My Henry is trying to be very good. He's going to be very charismatic and care about the people, okay? I didn't loot all the bodies and scallops either, because those were my neighbors, and I couldn't do that. So I probably lost out on
I did fuck up on the stealth aspect with the guy, though, because I was supposed to loot the chest or whatever in that mission, is if you go that route. They were like, oh, it's probably in one of his boxes. So like, you enter his house and it's not in that first little box in the little hallway thing. And so I went into his room and I was like, I saw the one by the foot of his bed, and I didn't notice the one like off to the side when you first enter through the door, which is that's where the ring is. So I pick-locked the other one and fucked it up the first time and managed to pick-lock it and actually open it before he woke up to go, what the fuck was that? Then ended up punching him and knocking his ass out.
Damn.
I got into a fist fight with him. So while he was knocked out, I was like, oh, there's the other chest. So I looted that one. So basically I took all of his shit and left his ass on the floor and walked out.
Damn. Your Henry is a bad guy, okay? My Henry is a good boy, okay? But he did throw poop at that one guy's house at the early part. He did do that.
I did not do that.
That was peer pressure, okay? My friend said that we needed to do it, and I said okay. And then I felt bad
I was
about
just
it.
like, no, I'm not gonna do that shit. No.
Literally.
I'll knock your ass out and steal your shit, but I am not throwing poop at your house.
Well, I did. So I think that's fun for RPGs, is being like, I did this. Oh, did you? I didn't do that. Or I never saw that. Or things like that. That's the fun of talking to your friends about single-player games where you can make choices on how your character behaves. Because there's almost no chance that Baka and I will ever have the same kind of playthrough. Like, the two of us are very, very different when it comes to our morality wheels for our characters. Baka's like, I'm
Grif is
stealing
gonna be
everything.
like, I'm gonna do the right thing, and she's just like, I mean, I'll try to do the right thing, but I
won't hesitate to not.
But, yeah.
But I'm also, like, the difference between Baka and I is Baka's like, yeah, I mean, this is not gonna work out, so I'm just gonna rob them and maybe shank them in the back on the way out. And I'm like, hey, I need you to cooperate. And they're like, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, fine, let's fight about it then. And I will throw hands. Like, straight, I fight front to back. Baka's, like, sneaky. So, I'm not saying that I will not, murder some folks.
Although
but
I
they'll know
found
it's
out
coming.
that wearing some of the armor that I have acquired, I am not very sneaky in it.
Oh, yeah.
So if I am going to sneak around, I am going to have to get different outfits.
It took me forever to find out where I can wash. Because I kept getting, like, there's, like, little flies that'll start following you if you're dirty. And I could wash my hands in, like, rain troughs and whatnot. But I finally found where the bath is, where they'll wash your clothes and you. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had to repair shit in the beginning, so...
I did. I don't know where to fix it.
Well, like, I was like, okay, like, I didn't realize it, and I was like... And then I found someone to repair some of my stuff, but apparently, like, I didn't quite realize it was, like, you very specific, like, you have to go to a tailor to repair your pants. And so I was running around without pants for a while.
I mean, honestly, that's not even surprising. I just figured that would be a character choice for you, based on some of your other character choices.
True, but I'm trying to not get arrested in the game because I know they kind of go with the real... But, like, everyone was like, oh my god, where were you robbed?
Yeah,
like,
I got that one time, too, and I was like, wait, is it because... And it was, for me, it was because I was filthy.
That's when I realized I was just... Yeah, well, no, it would, like, for me, it was like, oh, your pants are just completely gone. It's like,
that's funny.
Oh,
you just walking around, hanging out, everyone's like, guard?
Well, I mean, you're in first person mode most of the time, so like I wasn't noticing it. And like in some of the cutscenes, the gambeson that I was wearing kind of covers enough to where like I wasn't noticing it.
You're talking to fancy people with no pants on and you didn't even know. That's funny. That's
hanging out at the bottom of your shirt.
That's on brand.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I was wearing boots though.
I mean, did they have socks?
No.
So far, I haven't had that level. I have been asked if I was robbed, but it's because it was right after Lord Douchebag beat my ass, so I'd fallen on the ground a bunch, and I was like,
dirty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I'm serious. The game does not tell you a lot of stuff. It doesn't do a great job of being like, hey, here's a tutorial. It's like, hey, the tutorial is we're telling you that you can get dirty and that will affect how people view you. We're not going to tell you what to do about that. So I was like the whole time looking for an inn or something. I was like, maybe if I spend the night at the inn, I'm clean when I wake up. Nope, still filthy. So I went to bed in their nice, clean inn and woke up disgusting and still.
Yeah, I ran across a bathhouse just exploring. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can actually clean. Cool.
I Googled it finally.
Yeah, but the tutorial thing, like, I died 5 times trying to get away to
on the horse where you're like your horse is like, I just do what I want.
Yeah, because like it ran out of stamina and I was like okay, it regened backing up and I hit the button to start running again and it's like only kind of a medium gallop kind of a thing and I'm like, why the fuck are you not going faster? We're getting pelted with arrows. Go fast again, horse. And then after the 5th time it was like, oh, by the way, you can double tap the button to go even faster.
Yeah, but you just double tap it and then it does it. I thought it wanted you to spam the button, so I kept telling my horse, go fast, go slow, go fast, go slow. My horse was freaking out with valid reason, because it's like, I don't know what you want, okay? I finally figured it out, though. I got it. I managed. But that one is something else. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, though. Maybe at some point I'll get back to it and try to catch up. I swapped for a little while, though, because I wanted something a little faster paced. And I swapped to the Saints Row reboot, because I was like, it's been 2 years since I played it. Let me just play it again and see what that's like. If that game did not have the Saints Row name on it, I think it'd almost be okay. Like, some of the comedy is very contrived still, but it doesn't feel like Saints Row, but it feels Saints Row GTA adjacent. So I think that if they had not been like, this is a reboot of the Saints Row franchise, that game might have done better for itself. But I guess it's one of those things. Maybe it's the ideology of, we call it this so that it has name recognition, even though it's not really the thing. I don't know. But it's been an interesting go again. I don't hate it.
It could have been one of those games of, like, it started out as something different very early on, and then someone was like, let's slap Saints Row on it.
Yeah. I mean, that might have been the case. And I know they wanted to reboot the series because it had gotten out of hand being too silly by the time we got to Saints 4. But rebooting it down to a more base level made it feel like it didn't really have its own identity at that point. It wanted to fall somewhere between Saints Row and GTA. And that made it a little more bland than it should be in a lot of cases. Like, the fun weapons aren't really there, but they try. They're like, oh, but here's this Murder Circus DLC thing that you can do. Well, no, I think the Murder Circus is there at the start, and then they added a DLC pack for it. But it's basically Fiesta weapons, so you have to open these coffin things, and it gives you a random weapon every time you open it, and I was running around with a giant, like, two-handed bastard sword for a little bit, which is fun and funny, but it just doesn't have the same feel throughout the rest of the game as like a traditional Saints Row title would. So I don't hate it, though. I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought I would upon my decision to replay it. I was game hopping really hard, and so I was like, yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I don't full commit to this, and now I'm like, I actually just want to stop the show right now and go play it some more. Because it's been fun. The driving's still not great. I don't know what
that's just you.
I don't know what they changed. Well, it feels different than in the previous iterations of the game. So I don't know exactly what they changed.
It's probably got a new engine with it.
Maybe that's all it is. But it was enough of a difference that it feels kind of weird. Doesn't feel quite right. But it's been fun, actually. I'm glad that they don't look quite like Play-Doh. The previous versions of Saints Row, the graphics were like, I don't know what engine they're running that on, to be honest. So I don't know what my expectations should be for that engine. But I do know that some of the previous iterations graphically were like, well, questionable.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, considering that Saints 2 and 3 were Xbox 360. Well, all of the Saints Row franchise was on 360. I think even 4 came out right at the end of the life, maybe? I don't remember if you could play that on 360 or not. I played it on Xbox One the first time I played it.
I think that they released it for 1 and the 360.
I feel like they did, but I just played it.
Because I want to say that was the transitional period.
I think it was. I think you're right, but I'm not really sure. But I know the reboot is, current gen. Actually, no, I guess that would be last gen as well, because that'd be Xbox One, and now we're on the Series X and S and all that other stupid shit. I will say, maybe that's part of what hurt Xbox too, factoring back into their financial decline, was not making it very clear why you needed the next set of consoles, because it seemed like it was an extension of the current gen, a la Wii and Wii U. Why do I need that? It just seems like it's more of the same, but it's not. It's supposed to be different, but it isn't. But it is. Chicken, what have you been doing? You're watching your game, aren't you?
Yes, I've been letting you two just yap on. So works for me. The Killer Inn beta has opened up for this, and I played that a bunch yesterday. I left my Steam open to see what I have been doing.
You've been doing so much that you can't remember what it is.
Nothing really. Me and Baka played some Risk of Rain last week. But yeah, other than that, nothing really.
Well, yes, Killer Inn is one that I think that we should try as a group. Maybe if Red's around tonight. I don't know if Cat will be around, but we can't queue as 5 anyway.
It's 4. Yeah, it's only 4.
Yeah, I know. But Cat's also the least interested out of our party, so...
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's fun, and I'm getting a little better each time with it. It's just got such a crazy high learning curve to it that there's so many moving pieces. Mm-hmm. You're at a major disadvantage until you start learning how to play it properly.
And then you're pretty good. So
yeah, like I like it. Whenever I'm the lamb, I get sometimes, man. You could just smell the sus on people. Like I'm running around doing my little quests and whatnot, and now while I'm doing something, I'll see somebody kind of run up on me, and I'm like, and then they pull out a club, and I pull out my gun, and it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay, then they try to fight, and it'll turn into a brawl. So. Yeah. I enjoy it, especially when you get to play the wolf. You can kind of push really fast and then start assassinating people. It's extra fun when I'm the wolf and I get the knife and I'll just sneak up behind people and kill them while they're doing their little missions and whatnot, and they'll just disappear. Or snipe people, set up traps, things like that. Cause a little chaos, throw a grenade here or there. You just got to be careful if you're a lamb and you try to cause chaos. If you hit another lamb,
you're in
now
trouble.
They get a little retaliation icon. It's the little angry anime vein thing.
Oh, yeah.
They get that next to their name, and then they could shoot you back and kill you without getting bad punished. So.
Because you were aggressive towards a friend.
Yes, you were aggressive towards a friend first. So.
I mean, I guess that's one way that the lambs could suss out who the other lambs are, though. Did you take pot shots?
Everybody gets it. Like even if you shoot a wolf and they get the retaliation thing, they could shoot you and make it look like they were.
I was wondering how they balanced that out so that it wasn't a tell, that this person's obviously a lamb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense then. I haven't tried it out yet, but I do want to. I'm not saying I don't want to play it. I think that game is interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it a lot. It's got a fun loop to it, and I think they need to tune it a little bit more, which is why I'm glad we're getting a whole week, because the deduction part is still slow, like in the early parts, and it turns into a battle royale fast. But you have places that you're safe. You can learn how to eat. I think I'm playing a little too solo. There's 16 lambs, so you've got to try to play together with your lamb friends. So have somebody near you at all times, because I'll go off by myself and I'll just get killed randomly. So, and I think there is a way to mark people as safe and mark people as targets too, like mark people as wolves, things like that. I haven't quite figured that out, and I love it. Like as you find clues, you can share them. So basically, you find a clue on a body, you take it back to one of the merchants, and you can share it with them, and then other people can buy that clue and then have it on their boards too, which is really nice. And based on the clues that you find, if you see them running around, you'll see the clues on their like nameplate. It'll be floating next to them,
right,
so that you know there is a clue, there is sus on that person individually. So if you got like 2 clues on a person and there's only like 3 options, you'll see the clues on those people, because it's too hard to see names for everybody, especially when you're moving around. So seeing the clues next to their name, you're like, that person's sus. So I'm very careful around people that have like 1 or 2 on their names, and it's like, okay, gotta be careful.
Right. Okay.
So I like it. It's fun, and it's got a decent loop, and they have potential there to do something. So
Chinga's like, stop talking to me, things happening in my game.
Yeah, I think one of our players just got injured. That was bad.
Great.
That was really bad.
Don't say that. We need all of those people to be fine.
Yeah, I know. He took a hit. Ooh.
Chicken's watching them real contact sports, where we were talking about our like swinging swords and stuff, and he's watching real people.
Yeah.
I mean,
team,
the swinging swords is more dangerous.
Well, yeah, but in a video game, nobody actually gets hurt. It's all digital people.
The computer, yeah. Well, the digital people get hurt.
Well, yeah,
a
but
lot.
I mean, like, that's neither here nor there.
Ooh. God.
Maybe we should probably, I guess, wrap up.
Yeah,
now
that's what I was gonna say. Maybe we should just Chicken.
Well, I mean, was there anything else?
Well, I was gonna say that you have mentioned you might be interested in streaming our Ghost game at some point. So,
Ghost Exorcism.
So make sure that you keep an eye on Chicken's Discord/Twitch channel, twitch.tv/EliteChicken313, and maybe we'll be doing that at some point. That would be fun. Get ready to hear me just yell at a lot of things, because that's what I do in Ghost game.
Where are you? You got to make sure that your little book reading thing is PG enough.
Yeah, I mean, the one I have right now is fine. It's safe. So keep an eye out for that. Oak is... I honestly, I don't know if he's streaming right now or not, based on the fact that he was having some audio issues when we were playing games on Friday night. I would assume that maybe he hasn't been streaming, because I don't know if that would have carried over to that or not. But he's on Twitch also, twitch.tv/MDBOaktree. Yeah, I have no idea what his schedule is on that stuff. You can just check out Discords and things like that, and that's where we usually update what we're doing and when we're doing it and all of that junk. I think that's it, though. Right? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. So, for Respawn, I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.